Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about Brunello di Montalcino. It is just one of my favorite wine region in the world. As the name sounding very Italian, it is a region in Italy, in the Tuscany portion of Italy. It's a town called Montalcino, and it is a kind of a square-shaped town, and the area under vine is only about 2,100 hectares. There's about 209 different bottler or producer in this region, a vast amount of variation. Is almost as complicated as Burgundy would be, but without all the guide of Grand Cru, Premier Cru, and Village level for you to kind of get an idea of what the wine is going to be like. So let's get into it. Brunello di Montalcino, again, similar to Burgundy in the sense that the grape varietal is very simple. All you have is one grape, is 100% Sangiovese, nothing else. The Italians are really cute. They like to do a lot of synonyms. So Sangiovese is also in here called the Brunello, hence why it's called Brunello di Montalcino. So a synonym for Sangiovese called Brunello. A lot of time people get it confused as saying how it's different than Chianti Classico as far as the grape being used. Same grape, possibly different clone, and definitely different name. And it's also go by the name of Sangiovese Grosso, or the one I thought is always really cute is the Brunello Gentile. So all those are the same thing as Sangiovese, 100% Sangiovese, very easy peasy. The next thing you really need to know about the region of Brunello di Montalcino is how the aging works or how the label are different. So on the market, usually you'll see in supermarkets, sometimes Costco, whatever have you, the most popular one is the Rosso di Montalcino. Is the usually made with younger vine or barrels or less ideal plots the winemaker doesn't really like, or it doesn't qualify, doesn't have the quality to go into the regular Brunello di Montalcino. So generally younger vines and maybe less than ideal plots, or maybe the barrel that the winemaker doesn't particularly like from that vintage will go into the Rosso di Montalcino. And the rule here is it just needs 1 year of combined aging between barrel and bottling. So you can see those all in the market fairly quickly. So right now in 2020, you could possibly see some 2018 and 2017 Rosso di Montalcino already out in the market. But then after that is where it gets interesting and why some of the geeky some and wine lover like myself absolutely love Brunello di Montalcino. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of time to age. Just for the regular Brunello di Montalcino, the law requires that they do a 2-year minimum aging in oak. A lot of producers do it even longer. And it requires a total of 5 years combining in oak and bottling before they can release it. Hence why right now it's 2020 and the vintage that's being released right now is the 2015 vintage. It takes that long before they can even go to market with the wine. Then we have Brunello di Montalcino Reserva. Reserva literally has a legal meaning behind it. It's very different than California. In California, we're really big on marketing. We're kind of really fast and loose with our rules. You can literally put the word old vine, reserve, private reserve, special reserve, whatever it is you want on your label, and it literally doesn't have to mean anything. But here in Italy, they are regulated. If you want to put the word Reserva or reserved on your bottle of Brunello di Montalcino, you must have your wine aged 2 years minimum in oak and a total of 6 years in bottle, which means right now in 2020 we won't see any Brunello di Montalcino Reserva that is younger than 2014 vintage, which is very exciting. And because the wine really does need a lot of time to kind of run out in the barrel, hence why the rules are made this way, but it's definitely worth it. But here's another thing I definitely want to talk about. The world is getting smaller, a different winemaking technique are being shared amongst the countries. Brunello di Montalcino are going towards a very unique split of style. You have one school that does the traditional style, and then the other side that like to do the more modern style winemaking. So traditionally, Brunello are aging really large barrel, big enough for people like you and me to climb into, and they never switch out the barrel. So it's just a huge oak barrel, and it takes a long time for the wine to soften up in the traditional rustic wine making. But recently, there's a new school of producer, what we call the modern style producer, that is adapting the use of barrique or smaller barrel like we use here in Napa and in Bordeaux, France. So they make a drastically different style of wine, which makes Brunello di Montalcino very interesting and also kind of really hard to figure out. So that's pretty much it. The reason why I want to do this episode right now is because 2015 Brunello di Montalcino is being released, and followed by the 2010. This is another vintage of the lifetime. I'm a huge fan of the 2010 vintage. The wine was outstanding, and I can't wait to taste all the 2015 and share my thoughts and review with you. So before we do that, I just want to give you a little overview, quick overview of what Brunello di Montalcino is all about. So it really depends on the style you get, whether it's modern or traditional. They can taste drastically different. I like the traditional, more rustic style Brunello that takes 8 to 10 years, sometimes in the best vintage, more than 15 years of aging to be enjoyed. But tomorrow, when we go into the 2015 Brunello tasting, I will make sure to recommend great example from both the modern winemaker and the traditional winemaker, so you get a really good idea of what to shop for the amazing 2015 Brunello di Montalcino vintage. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you learned something new. Please hit that like button and leave a comment if you have any question. Feel free to share this video with your friend if you think it helped them. And subscribe to my mailing list on www.angiesomm.com for the newest update. And I also have a lot of amazing wine deals I send out regularly. Thank you. Drink responsibly and enjoyably. Cheers.